At Lincoln Nutrition and Fitness, home of CrossFit Lincoln, our passion is positively impacting and changing lives by creating a strong, brave, healthy community through coaching and education. We talk about nutrition, fitness, mindset, and more. From the Row Flicks studio, it's Phil Kniep, Paul Konarski, Emily Breedy, and I'm Aaron Perkypile. Welcome to CrossFit Lincoln Connection. Well, I'd like to welcome Anna to the podcast. Welcome to CrossFit Lincoln Connections. I'm Aaron Perkypile here with Anna, who is our February 2021 Athlete of the Month. Super psyched to have her on. Welcome, Anna.
Thanks, Aaron, for having me.
Absolutely. Anna, you have an athletic background. You played some college sports. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I grew up in a family that sports was pretty heavily dominated in what we did. So grew up playing multiple sports: basketball, softball, volleyball, soccer, you name it, we did it. My dad was a varsity football, baseball coach, so we just grew up with that. So my brothers and I just kind of took to that, and I ended up kind of excelling more in softball. So I just continued that up through college.
And where'd you play in college?
It's a D3 college out in Iowa, in Decorah, Iowa, called Luther College,
Okay.
and they have a outstanding softball program. So, and my dad actually played baseball there, so it was kind of gonna go there.
Awesome. Did any of your other siblings? How many siblings do you have?
I have two brothers. The youngest one, Isaac, he's playing JUCO ball out in Michigan for baseball, and then I have two stepbrothers as well out in Michigan. But Isaac's the only one that is playing college ball.
Okay. So he didn't end up going to the family school of Luther.
No, he didn't. He wanted to do a different path than me, which I understand.
Yeah.
Being the older sibling, he wanted to do something a little bit different than what I did.
Yeah.
So
does Luther still have a good softball team?
Yes.
Now that you're gone?
Yes, they do. The coaching staff there is outstanding. Coach Renee Hartle is an amazing coach. She's been there for several years, or more than several years, but she's created a great program. So, yeah.
Awesome. And now you said that you told me beforehand that your team went to nationals, made it to D3 nationals.
Yep.
And you took third.
Yes.
Tell me about, who'd you lose to?
We lost to a college called Illinois Wesleyan.
Okay. So
it was, I guess, the semifinal round, and it was best of 3. We won that first game, and then it's, like 95-degree weather in Oklahoma City, and then you turn around and play another game, and we had lost. So how it worked in the tournament bracket was you win, you get pushed to the winner's bracket, and then if you lost a game, you got pushed into the loser's bracket. So there was like 2 games you could lose, and then you were eliminated.
Okay.
So we had previously lost a game to Virginia Wesleyan, like a day before, and then we beat Illinois Wesleyan the first game, and then we had to turn around and beat them again right in a row.
Same day?
Same
like a
day.
doubleheader?
Yeah,
Oof.
doubleheader.
Rough.
Same team. And so we lost that one, but I got third, and it was the highest spot our college has ever made in the college tournament. So it was a good way to go out senior year.
Awesome.
For sure.
Yeah. So I think when I first met you, you had just graduated.
Yep.
And I remember on social media, it started to blow up that you'd been, like, you won Female Athlete of the Decade or something. I don't remember. What was the award that you won?
So my college, or my conference that I was in, had like a Scholar Athlete Award. So I was fortunate enough to get I guess admitted, or not admitted, I'm trying to think of the word. Nominated, yeah. That's the word. Nominated for it, and then I actually actually got it. So it was pretty special, pretty cool. Especially the award is named after a Luther College athlete. The female one is, who was a great cross country runner, like 7 or 5 plus all-time All-American.
Wow.
So it was cool to like bring that back to the college as a female Luther College athlete. So
And that was at the end of your senior year?
Yeah. So once you have to like graduate, and
Okay.
then you can get nominated for it. So yeah.
So what'd you get with that? Did you go back and you have to give a speech?
I did have to do a speech. I'm not horrible at them, but if I don't have to do it, I don't want to do it. It was fun, and then I got to bring my grandma with me, and then a couple other people, and then my coach came, so it was pretty impactful.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Awesome. You left school, and like fitness and sports has been such a huge part of who you are.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's hard for college athletes, especially when that's been your identity for so long, to leave school and then you just kind of fall flat, right? There's plenty of people that do that. What did you do to kind of combat that?
So yeah, you hit it right on the nail. I got out of college and sports have been my identity for, age 3 to up to 22 or whenever I graduated college. So it was kind of like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? I always continued working out and stuff on my own, but there's only so much working out on my own that I could do that felt fulfilling.
Sure.
I mean, it's fun to go to the Y or the Rec or whatever, and not knocking any of those, but exercise wise, I love being in that team environment. My softball team, we would lift at 6 a.m. in the morning, have music blaring, cheering each other on, getting, our maxes and stuff like that. So I missed that the most, more than anything from college athletics, is that just like team environment and community and being with other people. So I actually had been looking at CrossFit. Like, I watched the games in college. It was something that was super appealing to me just because I love to compete, and I still do. So when I moved to Lincoln, like, first thing I was like, what's the best places, CrossFit places or gyms to look at? And CFL and really kind of hit the nail on the head for me. So there was no looking back. I joined in, and I love it ever since. So.
Yeah, awesome. So you kind of talked a little bit about the team aspect of that. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you still kind of get some of that being in the group classes?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just having the coach there is great because it reminds me of when I had that lifting coach that was always kind of like not doting, but checking over everyone, making sure they're doing proper technique, giving you tips, encouraging you. And then also just like the people around you, they're all they're not the same mindset, but they're there to get better, which I love surrounding myself with those kinds of people because I feel like that just makes life better in general when you're around positive people that have goals in life.
Yeah.
And then also too, you find that kind of group of people within that too, that you kind of like mirror off of. So I'll use Teresa, for example. If she's always putting 10 on or 10 more, I'm like, well, I guess I'll do RX plus 2, even though I'm not feeling great today because I want to compete, want to, go against them. So just kind of stuff like that I very much enjoy, and it's kind of one of the best parts about my day is going into the gym.
Yeah. How long have you been a member at the gym? I know you were gone for a little bit, and then you came back.
Yep. I would say about 2 years.
Yeah.
About
okay.
2 years, yeah.
And how have your goals or the way you approach workouts or approach fitness, how has that changed since when you started?
Mm-hmm. I would say that's a good question. I kind of always go into it with the mindset that I'm going to go like 110%. Yeah. And then I kind of evaluate during the workout what my expectations are. So let's say, you have the option if you scale down, do the RX weight, but you're going to get more rounds and you're going to finish the workout, or you go up with the weight and then you don't finish, but you're still like doing more strength work.
Right.
So I like I guess in terms of your question, the ability now, feel like I'm better at gauging what I want to pick and choose. Sure. If I want to do more cardio today, or if I want to work on my strength. And that's the great thing about CrossFit is you can scale it to however you want to like fit your fitness needs.
Yeah, that's awesome. What would you say some of your goals are right now?
I would say I always have been, I love strength work, so I just want to get better at, I've always done Olympic lifts, but I want to get better at that for sure. And then just continuing to kind of fine tune my stuff with like the more technical stuff of CrossFit, so the more gymnastic stuff I want to get better at, just because I didn't really come in with that background. I came in with a strength background, so I'm like, I feel good with those are my wheelhouse, but it's good to be uncomfortable and work on those things. And then I just love, the fitness aspect that, like, CrossFit, it's not like, I'm lifting, again, not to knock the normal gym, but, doing, pec raises or stuff like that, or lateral raises, is great. But in CrossFit, like, you actually may have to apply what you're doing one day in a situation. Like, I may have to run for a certain amount of time in order to get to a destination that I need to, because my life's in danger or something like that. It's just, in my mind, it's more applicable than some
that
other
functional side.
Yeah, than other exercises.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're saying that maybe if I do all these curls, I can't see a time in my life where I might need to flex on somebody.
Well, you never know. Presence is a big thing in any situation.
That's fair.
But for me, I just like the functional aspect more of it in fitness. So.
It seems like it translates more to real life and what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about mindset. How has your mindset shifted from kind of collegiate athlete where you're competing, you have bonded together and you're with a team and you're competing? Mm-hmm. How has that translated? And then has there been anything from CrossFit that has translated and helped shift or continue to build on that mindset? Yep.
I'd say, I guess in terms of like what I came in with mindset wise, I wasn't an ego person at all, but definitely CrossFit and just this kind of workout in general really makes you check your ego at the door.
Yeah.
And I never was a person, to brag about my weight or anything like that, or, I know what I'm doing, because like I love taking criticism. I like getting better. But in CrossFit and this kind of functional fitness really makes you take a hard look at that, and like you need to maybe you need to go way down in weight because you're not doing it properly. So I think you have to be cognizant of that, I guess, would be my answer to that question.
Yeah.
Especially when you're newer to it.
Yeah.
So you can't come in with the 20 rep max doing, your 5 rep max weight. You literally can't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. So just kind of being able to take a step back and being like, oh, I guess I'm not as good as I thought I was, kind of like that. So. And
it also sounds like not allowing that, I know I'm not as good as I thought I was, but rather than letting that kind of shut you down, it encourages you to, all right, what do I need to do to get to where I thought I was?
Yeah. And that's the great thing about all the coaches at the gym is that they're completely there to help you with your goals, what you need to get better at, and they're there to answer questions. So that's a great part about the community again.
What have you improved the most on physically in class?
I would say more technical movements that we haven't done them in a while, but like I could never climb a rope.
Yeah.
Ever. I was thinking about this the other day. Could never climb a rope. We had it in gym class in high school and then elementary. Could never do it, and now I can do them it's no one's business. And it was all just technical stuff. Like the strength was there, but listening to my coaches, like how your footwork's placed.
Yeah.
Was the biggest difference. So just, again, kind of being open to suggestion and not being closed-minded, which is like why I like the sport. It's because you have to be able to adapt, and that's the whole kind of main thing about it. So.
Yeah. Have you seen a decrease? Because a lot of times if you come in as a stronger athlete and you start adding some more of the longer Metcons or things like that, or a little more cardio, you can see a diminishment in your strength. Have you seen a loss of strength at all?
I have not. I've actually gained strength. I like the cardio aspect of it too, and I like that it's balanced, that you get both, because I'm a firm believer you need a good balance of both in order to maintain at least what I like as a healthy lifestyle is both of them. So I've actually, and in numbers wise, I've gone up in my strength numbers, which is nice to see, because I guess more Olympic technical lifting we're doing than I even did in college. So, but yeah. Have you ever done a competition? I want to. Yeah. No, what's held you back? COVID. Oh, okay. No, that's not my whole main excuse. But I was there was like a couple like right before the pandemic kind of hit, and then it hit because I wanted to do some this summer. I had a buddy of mine. She's a strength coach down in or up in New York. She played ball with me. We were planning on doing one together, and then COVID kind of hit, so that's kind of threw threw a wrench in things, but definitely when, things are lifted and stuff, I definitely want to compete. That's one of the reasons I joined this kind of gym, is to prepare for that, just because it'll kind of give me that like thing that I've been missing since
fuel that competitive the fire
since college, because there's only so many times I can like mirror myself with the person across and be like, all right, I'm getting that competitive edge feel again, but I'd love to compete again. For
so
sure.
Have you competed in the Open? Have you done the Open?
I have not done the Open.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Just time wise, like when you joined versus when it kind of, that's...
I think time wise I've just missed it.
Yeah.
Like that one time I took just that little gap, and then last year with work it was kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
So no, I definitely wanna do it.
So March, it's coming up.
I know.
You pretty pumped?
I am pumped.
Are you nervous?
No, I know the workouts are killer, but I mean that's the part of the sport. So I'm excited.
What movements would you be happy to not see in the Open? Or in a workout on a weekly basis?
On a weekly basis.
Yeah, when this movement shows up, when you're like, oh, okay, well, I have to do it, but I'm not looking forward to it.
So there's always scaling options, but anything kind of, I don't mind it, but with overhead stuff, I did kind of hurt my shoulder a little bit in college. Mm-hmm. So my left one's always a little hesitant to go 110% like my right side is. So kind of like handstand push-up stuff like that, I'm always kind of like okay.
We'll see
we'll
what it does today. Are you left-handed?
I'm technically right-handed, but I do a lot of stuff left-handed.
Okay.
So I hit
you hit left?
I hit left-handed, I'll golf left-handed, I played hockey left-handed.
Okay.
But
throw right?
Throw right.
Yeah. What position were you in college?
I was a shortstop.
Dang, so you got a cannon.
I don't know if I have anymore. I might break my arm trying to throw across the base.
So did you sign up and play any softball here when you moved to Lincoln?
I haven't, no. I don't. Part of me hasn't found a team yet, and the other part of me is like, I don't know if I'll be able to be chill about it. I'll be like that one kid in recess at 6th grade that's going, 110% when everyone's like, you just need to chill.
It's kickball,
This
okay?
is beer league.
Okay, chill.
So
beer league kickball in middle school, all right?
So I don't know. So, I could definitely see myself doing that eventually, but.
Are there any fast pitch leagues locally? Have you looked into it?
I haven't looked into that. I'm not aware of it.
If we have any listeners out there that there's a fast pitch softball league out there that's looking for a strong-armed infielder.
A retired athlete.
A retired athlete that will give everything for the championship.
For the little trophy.
Yeah, for the championship that's every Sunday.
Everyone gets a medal.
Yeah, I'm all about that T-shirt. All about that champion T-shirt.
I would like to get into coaching again, though.
Yeah.
One day. That'd be fun. But
what's holding you back to do that?
I think I finally have felt, because I'm not from Lincoln, and I'm not from Nebraska.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Iowa.
Okay.
Despite everyone thinking I'm a Hawkeye fan, I'm not.
Are you a Cyclones fan?
I'm not really big college, so
okay.
I guess the Huskers have kind of become more of an adopted team than anything. Big NFL team fan. But I think I'm finally kind of settled in the Lincoln community now. I feel more comfortable with kind of looking.
A little more connected, maybe?
Yeah, kind of seeking that out. So in the future, we'll see.
So you did you move a lot? It sounds like you have family that's in Michigan, maybe, and in Iowa still.
Yeah. So I grew up all in Iowa. Most of my family did too. When I was in college, my dad got remarried, so he moved out to Michigan. And then I have family in Missouri, and then I actually have some family here in Lincoln too, which made the move a little bit easier. And that's one of the reasons that drew me to Lincoln too. So yeah.
Where do you like to eat in Lincoln?
Where do I like to eat? Are we talking fast on the go, or
either one?
Sit down.
What's a Lincoln only kind of spot that if people come visit Lincoln, they're like, oh, you should go check this place out?
Everyone says Laszlo's, I think.
Yeah,
that's the good.
Do you say Laszlo's?
I mean,
you said it like everyone else says Laszlo's, so I should probably say Laszlo's.
I feel like I'm supposed to say it. No. I guess a good sit down place is that, and I'm not gonna lie. There's some good breweries in town too, so those are fun too. There's a good barbecue place on Westone. I can't think of it.
Can't think of the name.
Mm-mm.
Just drive.
I
Just
think it's
drive
like Fat
O Street.
Jacks or something.
Okay.
Something like that with a P.
PHAT Fat
Yeah,
Jacks.
the cool way.
Okay. Yeah.
That place is pretty good. But I honestly don't eat out too much.
Yeah.
To be honest. Money.
Yeah.
And just cooking. I'm fine with doing that. And meal prepping.
Have you always meal prepped, or is that something that started kind of when you got, because a lot of CrossFitters will start talking about meal prepping and dialing in nutrition and things like that.
Yeah. I'd say just in college, I've always kind of ate, I don't want to say properly, but knew what to eat, when not to eat. And, you can indulge yourself every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's not good to completely shut yourself off of that. But, I don't know.
Unless you're Emily. Unless you're Coach Emily.
But, I just kind of always, I guess, followed that through even after graduating, just kind of continued to eat like that. Like my family, it's funny, my family's always shocked when I decide to eat a dessert at a holiday event. They're like, oh my God, you're eating cake? I'm like, yes, I made it.
It's keto.
Of course. It's got carrots in it.
Oh man.
But
what do you wish that people knew about CrossFit and about our gym?
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest misconception, and I'm sure some other people probably talked about it when they've been on your podcast, is that you have to go in being this Matt Frazier athlete or Josh Bridges. You got to be this CrossFit game person that knows everything, every technical movement, and that's just not the case. The great thing about this sport, and especially this gym, is just there's so many scaling options, and you can start from a zero knowledge level to coming in with everything, and there's just everyone and everything in between. Every workout's scalable. Like I kind of said earlier, you can go for the more cardio, or you can go for the more strength, or vice versa. And just, like I touched on earlier, just the community of everyone being there. Everyone's cheering you on. Honestly, I've never met anyone in that gym that doesn't have a positive attitude. There's sometimes you don't want to get up and go to a workout, and you go in, but once you get warmed up and everything's great, and you see all these smiling faces and the coaches are greeting you and know your name.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool aspect about it. You're not just a number or a statistic just going into the gym every day some gyms. People actually know who you are and ask about you and how's work, how's life, how's your family. So that's kind of the coolest thing that most people don't realize, is that you're getting the fitness aspect of it, but it's a fitness aspect geared towards you, and then you're also getting a community on top of that you didn't have previously. So that's what I like about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about dealing with adversity. Either through sport,
Mm-hmm.
there's always kind of that narrative of adversity that's going to creep up, right?
Yeah.
Which then easily translates into in life, in relationships, or in family, or in our job. Adversity is going to come up. How do you approach those types of situations that could easily derail either your fitness or your mindset,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that?
I think the biggest thing with adversity in general, whether it be life or sport or just kind of anything, is just surrounding yourself with the right kind of people that you can go to after the fact, after something like that happens. I'm a big proponent of that. Whenever I've had a difficult situation, whether it be work, whether it be school, sports, when I was playing, when I was an athlete, or just life in general, I always have gone to someone immediately afterwards just to talk about it, just to get guidance. I've always been someone who loves criticism, who loves different perspective, and I think if you just kind of sit and wallowing in your own thoughts and stuff like that, it's great to a point, but if you're not going to get anywhere unless you get kind of an outside perspective on things. So I've always thought reaching out, and I know it's hard for some people to do, but reaching out to others and getting their kind of instruction and what they've done in the past to overcome whatever obstacle or whatever hardship that you're dealing with, definitely can help you kind of see the brighter side of things.
Sure. Sounds like you enjoy being challenged.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Physically, mentally,
Yeah.
all of those things.
Yeah.
Have you always been that way?
I want to say I think so. Maybe as a
You
kid.
don't remember a time when you weren't that way?
Yeah, I would say I've always, just growing up as a kid, like playing. I honestly am a big, testament to my parents for putting me in sports at a young age. I mean, that's what I'm going to do with my kids when I have them one day. Is just I honestly think there's just so many benefits to them, and they kind of instill like hard work and work ethic and getting along with others and community, and you learn life lessons. So kind of just throwing that at a kid at a young age, I think, and exposing them to that on top of school and other social events, I think it shapes you well into as you grow older.
Yeah.
So
our December athlete of the month was Cody Smith.
Okay.
Played baseball growing up, and he got tossed for bowling through a catcher. Play at the plate, ran through the catcher, and got thrown out of the
you got
game.
thrown out.
Did you ever get thrown out of a game?
I've never gotten thrown out of a game.
Never kicked dirt at the umpire.
Never.
Never got into it. Got a little chippy with another player on an opposing team.
I not that I recall.
Oh man, you're
No,
a better person.
I was
better person than me.
I wasn't level-headed. I want to say that was the wrong words. I think I played level-headed, but I played with like a high intensity,
Sure.
but not like more directed towards like what we're doing, and
Not detrimental to the.
not. I like to think not detrimental. My coaches can attest to that wherever they are.
We're gonna call and get some references. Have them comment on.
Actually, she.
Yeah. What would your coaches say about you? Do you think? What type of teammate and what type of player is Anna?
I never am a person to like, I don't brag. I hate it. I hate.
This isn't bragging. I just want to know what they would say about you.
I'd like to think they thought, or they felt I was a very hard worker, and that I was just kind of for the team rather than self. That's how I try to carry myself. So.
Why would you think that's bragging?
I don't know.
I'd hate to have them say anything good about me, but if it was, I guess it would have to be.
But
is it hard for you to take a compliment?
it is. Yes, I've always been like that.
So that tells me that you definitely are from the Midwest.
Midwest nice. Yes, I say
Yeah.
oops a lot too. And,
Yeah. Oh.
and you betcha, it's just my go-tos.
Tell me if you're from the Midwest without telling me you're from the Midwest.
Gosh, that's a great. I'll wear a t-shirt when it's 50 degrees out. How about that?
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
is
a
that a
good
good one?
Yeah.
And with the windows down in the car.
100, yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially, I mean, it's
Shorts on it. That's like a heat wave. Like
single
especially
digits
now.
right now.
I know.
50 sounds amazing. Oh man.
But
Who should go play softball at Luther?
who should?
Yeah, who should? What type of players should
Type
go
of
there?
athlete. I think kind of similar to what I just touched on. Someone who wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves. More in it for the team rather than self. Because there's colleges out there that you're in it just to go on to the next level. I at one point did consider JUCO just for that reasoning, just wanting to maybe get to that D1 level.
Yeah.
But I kind of came to the realization, I'd rather be somewhere for 4 years that's stable, that's a great community, that has got one goal, one team, one mindset, and then I also had that family aspect of it, that family history of it. So I think someone who wants to improve immensely, like I said, that coaching staff at Luther, Coach Hartle and Coach Olson are just incredible coaches, and do anything for the athlete. So I think anyone who wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves rather than just for self should go to there.
Well, and that leads me, because it sounds like, what you do professionally, you work for the city of Lincoln doing community outreach, like that's something bigger than yourself. It's something for the city of Lincoln, carrying that mindset into your professional life. And it's got to be difficult because, dealing with the public, they aren't always your best friend. They aren't excited to talk to someone from the city of Lincoln, and because everyone's got a lot to complain about. How do you kind of deal with that?
I think you just approach each situation differently.
Yeah.
Go in there with an open mindset. You know, you don't understand what circumstances someone's going through, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what I always try to have my mindset as, just because, you know, same with you and me, you might be going through something I don't know. So coming in there one-sided isn't the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of also, you know, using that guidance, you got other people around you to go off of. So that's kind of also something you approach when you're in those kind of situations.
Yeah.
So.
Tell me, I want to know a little bit about your recruiting process before you went to college.
Okay. Thinking back.
Yeah. Did you reach out to Luther, or did they reach out to you? Did you have other schools that you were looking? Because you talked about maybe going to JUCO or something like that.
Yeah. So in college, I'm trying to think. Wow. I haven't thought of this one in a while. My junior year, my sophomore year, I was actually kind of getting somewhat recruited by West Point, the military academy for softball. And then some things just fell through academically wise, so it just wasn't gonna go, because they don't do athletic merit scholarships. It's
Okay.
more
Academic.
you get in as an academic and then you go into the academy as such. So my heart was kind of set on that for a while, and when it didn't happen, it was kind of disheartening.
Yeah.
So I was kind of looking maybe that JUCO route. I had family members that did that, you know, try to go to D1, try to get to a D1 school eventually, just going that route. And so I was kind of set on this JUCO college for a little bit out in Iowa, and then I did a visit and it was okay. But, you know, there's some, you know, if you've ever made a decision, you know, it doesn't sit right with you.
Yep.
You feel it. And then I was kind of, I think it was like the winter of my senior year, I just started just doing, I think I had a basketball tournament up in this kind of D3 college called Wartburg College. And I was playing basketball tournament up there, and my dad's like, why don't you just go here? You know, it's not that far away from home. And I'm like, I'm not going here. Like, Wartburg's a great college, but my dad went to Luther, so they're kind of
Rivals.
Yeah. So I was like, why don't I just go where you went? You went to Luther. And he's like, well, go visit. And I knew they had a good softball program previously. And then I went up there and did a visit and loved it. The coaching staff was amazing. I knew right off the bat they were going to be there for you more for a person first rather than an athlete, you know. Whereas kind of JUCO, sometimes that can be the other way around. Not for all, but some experiences that I have from other friends that that was the case. So that was kind of made me leery of that.
Yeah.
But I fell in love with the campus, the people. I had previous teammates from travel teams that were actually already on that team. So it just kind of fit well with that. So it kind of it made the whole kind of going there seem like a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So
Is there, would you, if you, looking back, if you know what you knew now, is there a different way that you would have approached kind of your recruitment process? Is there anything you would have done differently?
I would say, and then kind of looking back on it too, is that nowadays it's more, like I said, I would never go back to, I made the best decision in my life, met my lifelong friends at that college, made a lot of great memories. So looking back on it, I wouldn't have made a different decision. But if someone wanting to go through the recruitment process again, yes, definitely. Like, I think there's a lot of more nowadays you need to do your own self-promotion. I didn't do that much.
Yeah.
I kind of relied on old school train of thought, you know, they'll come to you, which
Right.
isn't the case. Like nowadays you know, they got the huddle
Yeah.
and then they got, you know, just going to different tournaments, going to different camps, letting coaches see you. So I think if someone out there wants to get recruited by a college, they need to do more of that actively instead of just like hoping a scout comes to your games. Because, I mean, they do, but, you know, you got to do more of that on top of putting up numbers. So
West Point's a D1, considered D1
I
in softball?
believe they have a D1 softball program, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, you know, I've heard coaches that recruited. I coached basketball in college for a little bit, and it's really hard when an athlete thinks that they're a certain level or deserve a certain level, D1, D2, whatever, but they aren't getting those looks.
Yeah.
And then how do you help? What would you say to an athlete that's like, I want to go D1, but they're clearly either not athletically or academically or some other scenario, that's not the best fit for them.
Yeah. That's another good question. So I guess if we'll go like the ability route, say like they have that mindset, but they just don't have that athletic ability at that point in time, then I would probably guide them more towards the JUCO route. Say, hey, if this is something you do really want to pursue, just to be honest with you, at this point in time, you're not that skill set level yet. Let's go this route. Develop yourself for 2 years. I mean, there's JUCO programs have so many great athletes that a lot of times they just need to fine tune stuff, or just something didn't click at the right time, or whether it be athletic ability or academics, that they get that stuff built up and then they go back out and get scouted again. And I have so many friends that went that option that ended up going D1 or ended up going to a big D2 just because they needed to just fine tune that little thing.
Sure.
So if that's like kind of the issue, then I would probably guide them more towards that.
Yeah.
If it's something where just in terms of like an ego mindset, that's just kind of that's different.
Yeah.
How you approach an athlete with that.
How do you break their spirit?
How do you tell them you're not D1? That's a great, I guess, someone's got to bring the hard truth to them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm never been a person to, if you really want to do that, do it.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to play D1, go do it. Try to walk on. Who's stopping you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the one to be like, I guess I wouldn't be a person to be like, no, you can't do it.
Right.
Say, hey, this is what I think. I think you should maybe try this option, but if you really are set on wanting to go D1, go ahead and try to walk on.
Yeah.
Like that's completely 100% your decision.
Yep.
And, if I was a coach at that point, I'd back you in that decision.
Yeah.
But just understand, it's not a guarantee.
What's plan B?
Yeah.
What's plan C?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big person of backup plans.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
You want to give everybody a shout out? Who's going to listen to this? Hopefully your coaches from Luther, because I'm going to figure out their emails and send them a link.
Yeah, I guess the softball program at Luther.
Yeah.
Luther. And then, yeah. Anyone ever I played with.
Yeah.
Back
anybody
in
at the gym you want to shout out? Who do you normally work out next to you?
Who do I normally work? Hannah.
Yeah.
Hannah, always my go-to when in terms of, I should probably bump up weight. Or Teresa. Teresa's like squat cleaning more than me, and I'm like, how is this happening? But she is so strong. So yeah, Teresa. And those are like usually my go-tos that I'll like mirror against. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Anna, it's been a pleasure. I love seeing you walk through the doors. You're always excited to be there and smiling, and your positive attitude. We work your butt off, and so it's been our pleasure to name you our February Athlete of the Month. And thanks so much for being here today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everybody. I hope that you subscribe to our podcast. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Thanks, Anna, for being here, and we'll see you guys next time.